Batman, appreciate you coming down here. Not many people get access to this facility. The CDC's been monitoring several biological threats lately. You sounded urgent on the call. How's Gotham holding up? I heard about the recent chemical incident at Arkham. Must be exhausting dealing with costumed lunatics and bioweapons simultaneously. How are you managing without backup most nights?
Leon, good to see you. The facility is impressive. Security's tight, which is what we need for this conversation. Gotham's managing, though some nights are harder than others. I have help when I need it. Alfred and Robin keep me operational. But I called because I need your expertise on something catastrophic. You've dealt with viral outbreaks before, situations where biological weapons threaten entire cities. I need perspective from someone who's seen that level of disaster.
Viral outbreaks and bioweapons are my specialty, unfortunately. What we're talking about here, you wouldn't call unless it was serious. Most biological threats I can handle with standard containment protocols. But if you're involved, this probably involves something beyond normal CDC procedures. Give me the threat assessment. What virus are we dealing with, and why does the world's greatest detective need help from a cop?
The 28 Days virus. It's a rage virus that transforms humans into homicidal infected within 28 seconds of exposure. Victims lose all rational thought and become killing machines driven only by hunger and violence. One infected can spread to dozens through bites and blood contact. The virus has no cure once contracted. It's 100% lethal after 28 days of infection, as victims essentially lose all humanity and brain function. It's biological extinction.
A rage virus that kills within a month with no cure. That's extinction-level bioweapon. How is this virus currently distributed? Is it contained, or is there active outbreak risk? If this is already loose in population, we're talking about potential pandemic. Thousands infected before we even know there's problem. The incubation period of 28 seconds means one person at crowded event could infect hundreds instantly. What's the current situation status?
The virus exists in a secure laboratory in a private research facility. A pharmaceutical company called Umbrella was developing it as a weapon. The facility's been compromised. We don't know if the virus is already loose or still contained. I have teams investigating right now. But the bigger problem is the research itself. If Umbrella has the virus, other organizations have similar samples. The knowledge of how to create it spreads faster than the virus itself. Controlling the pathogen is half the battle. Controlling the information is the other half.
Controlling information about bioweapon creation is nearly impossible once knowledge spreads globally. I've seen what happens when people get desperate and think they're cornered. They release bioweapons without caring about consequences. We need to find Umbrella's research before it gets distributed further. But finding a research facility and securing bioweapons is police work, not detective work. What specifically do you need from me? My tactical experience or my epidemiological knowledge?
Both. I need you to lead containment protocols if the virus is active. Your tactical response to biological threats is the best in the world. But I also need your knowledge to help me understand how the virus spreads and what vulnerabilities exist. I'm developing a contingency plan that involves both stopping the virus from spreading and destroying Umbrella's research permanently. Can't do it alone. This needs cop and detective thinking combined.
Destroying research is dangerous. If we're not careful, we release what we're trying to contain. Bioweapons require specific conditions to survive. Cold, darkness, isolation. Improper destruction could aerosolize the virus and make things worse. But leaving research intact means someone else will steal it eventually. This is choice between two bad options. What's your plan for destroying research without risking release? How do you contain destruction of something that infectious and volatile?
Let's get Robin's input.
The 28 Days virus spreads through direct contact with infected blood and bodily fluids. Once someone's infected, they have 28 days before brain death. If we can identify infected people early, quarantine them in sealed medical facilities until the virus runs its course, naturally, we contain spread. But the real vulnerability is Umbrella's research wasn't finished. The virus is unstable. Under specific temperature conditions, the genetic structure breaks down. If we can force those conditions on the virus samples, they become inert and useless.
Robin's right about the virus's instability. Incomplete research means it's not fully stable. I've encountered similar bioweapons that required specific conditions to maintain viability. If we can force opposite conditions, we degrade the samples. High heat and specific humidity levels could break down the viral structure. Combined with strict quarantine of any infected persons, we limit spread while destroying research simultaneously. But we need to do it all at once, or we lose control of variables.
Simultaneous operation across multiple fronts. Infiltrate Umbrella facility. Secure any virus samples. Expose them to degradation conditions while extracting Umbrella's research and staff. Quarantine facilities are already being prepared by CDC contacts. Once we have infected persons, they go into sealed medical isolation. We monitor vital signs but don't attempt cure since none exists. They're quarantined until either they recover or the virus kills them. Harsh but necessary.
Watching people die because there's no cure is never easy. I've had to do it before during outbreak situations, but it's better than letting the virus spread unchecked. The quarantine approach works if infected people cooperate. Problem is panic. Once people realize they're infected with no cure, they panic. They try to escape, they want to see families, they become liabilities. Quarantine requires absolute security and armed guards. This gets messy fast.
Master Bruce Officer Kennedy, I've been monitoring this discussion with increasing concern. You're proposing to simultaneously infiltrate a bioweapon facility, expose deadly virus to degradation conditions, and establish quarantine for multiple infected persons. Each component has catastrophic failure potential. If containment fails at facility, virus spreads. If quarantine security fails, more infection spreads. If infected persons become violent during psychological breakdown, guards must defend themselves. This operation is extraordinarily dangerous.
Alfred's concerns are valid. That's why we're bringing in specialist teams. Hazmat suits rated for biohazard level 4, military-trained quarantine security, medical personnel trained in mass casualty isolation. We're not rushing into this. We take time to prepare properly. The virus hasn't spread yet as far as we know. We have window of opportunity before that changes. Better to act now while we have advantage of preparation than wait for outbreak and react desperately.
Preparation is key with bioweapons. I've learned that lesson hard way. Your plan is sound. Addresses multiple contingencies. I'll coordinate with CDC on quarantine facility preparation and infected person management. You handle infiltration of Umbrella facility and research destruction. We work simultaneously but separate operations. If either team hits problem, we have contingency communication systems. This is dangerous work, but leaving 28 days virus loose is worse alternative. Let's contain this before it becomes pandemic.